Come and listen to us, it's the Keith and the Girl Show.
You ain't heard that we swallow guys. It's too damn late to apologize. Fuck, we're live. Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Hamda. Did you say swallow guys?
Well, this is embarrassing. It's a song, Hamda. Whenever you see, it's like a guy thing. You see a tough guy, right, being a real jerk, and you're like, I'm gonna swallow your jerk. Do you know what I mean? Like, get out of here. I'll suck you right out of the neighborhood.
Wow, I've been very tough without knowing it.
Yeah. We'll swallow guy. Well, the whole time. I mean, you weren't supposed to hear it anyway. Hi, everybody. Silent Trailers tickets are now up.
Whoop.
That's right. You know the game show. Kemda, right? I mean, a big idiot when it comes to movies, when it comes to actors and actresses, even more so. So Hemda describes a movie trailer that she's watching, and the contestants have to guess what the movie was. I saw every movie ever made as opposed to Learning Emotion. So I go against a group of people, and we get it done. Last time we did this game, of course, the kid won. Get your tickets now. KeithandTheGirl.com/ticket. I'm the kid. KeithandTheGirl.com/tickets and watch it for free at KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP. You'll see everything right there. KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP. Okay, what can I tell you? It's the greatest game show of all time, and you don't want to miss it. Here's an email from Christopher. He says, and I quote, Silent Trailers is the greatest game show of all time. Thanks, Christopher. So there you have it. I wasn't fucking around. All right. And of course, KeithandTheGirl.com/tickets. Do you need another excuse to get VIP? Hemda is recording a new Flavor of the Month show. You know, Flavor of the Month. KeithandTheGirl.com/app. You'll see all the VIP shows we have. And we try up new hosts and new shows here and again. Hemda's going to do one under Flavor of the Month with the great Mike Kaplan called Philosophically Speaking.
Yep. I don't know if you guys know this, but Mike Kaplan has a degree in philosophy. Honestly, I found that in the first episode. Turns out that's like six episodes, 6 classes in college. So yeah, we're just gonna chat and hopefully argue because I like arguing with him. We tried it out on the Stereo app and a bunch of people liked it. So I'm trying it out with 4 episodes. We're putting the first one up on Friday.
Look at this. Well, I picture Mike as like, here's my point, but also against my own point. And like, you graduated, Mike.
Yes.
Get the fuck out. Here's the description. Hemda talks to Mike Kaplan about philosophical ideas and ideals. Every week, they will take at least one philosophical thought and speak openly, possibly argue about it. Some topics might include everything we do for ourselves. No one can make us feel anything. Yeah, tell that to my girlfriend. Nothing anyone does is personal to us. Polyamorous relationships are the same as monogamous ones. Okay, yeah, I'll listen to that bullshit. Join the conversation on the Keith and the Girl Reddit page. The Keith and the Girl, of course, reddit.com/r/Keith and the Girl. You know what to do. All right. Today's guest, ladies and gentlemen, playing with her mouse over there or a dog. We're going to figure it out.
It was a dog.
It was a dog. Fantastic comedian, great actress. I'll tell you where I've seen her on Conan. Fantastic. Adam Ruins Everything. Very funny. The spoof movie with the Wayans, 50 Shades of Black. Bad Santa 2. I'm curious if Billy Bob Thornton, if he just does that movie drunk. Like when you get to Bad Santa 2. Hold on. I've said I'm curious, Jenny. We don't know yet. This is where I can say whatever I want. Nobody can say anything. I mean, you're not going to say, right? You were on the movie. But me, I picture him going like, I was fucking Sling Blade. I have monster balls. I think I could be drunk during this. But we're going to find out. We really don't know. Jenny Zigrino. Hello, Jenny.
Hello. Do you want me to answer that question now?
No, we're good.
You're so curious.
Just thoughts I have. Okay. All
They're
right.
Just outside thoughts.
Right. So you're saying Billy Bob Thornton was a professional, even though his character was a scumbag.
He was a professional.
Okay.
He was a professional. Oddly enough, the number one question I got from people was, how does he smell?
Right. And he seems like he'd be one of those, right? Like the guy that played Abraham Lincoln, like he would deliberately stink. Right. And it's like, dude, it's a comedy. You know, he's like, I got to take it seriously. I reek. Is that true or false?
No, at least in our scene, he was very kind with the way he smelled. He put on some cologne, perhaps maybe a little bit of baby powder. I don't know. but he smelled very nice. Everyone's like, oh, he smells like whiskey, doesn't he? No.
Wow,
Maybe a
your
little bit of cigarettes, but that's about it.
Right.
That is
Your friends
so
really hate him though, right? It's like, I bet he smells like whiskey. Like, easy. First of
No,
all, how about
I-
congratulations? I got the job. Secondly,
Him smelling like
Oh.
whiskey might mean that her friends really love him. Like that might be how daddy used to smell. You don't
Mm.
know what people like.
That's true.
Yeah, like smelling like whiskey isn't necessarily bad for everyone. But
They
I
say it in a very yearning way, like, did he smell like whiskey? Oh.
now I look into everything Jenny's up to, right? So I check to see what podcast she has. And I see Jenny had a podcast called The Filling is Mutual.
Yes.
And I go to click on that and nothing's popping up.
Not there anymore, baby.
Did you take that down out of shame or something or what?
No, we just stopped doing it. We stopped a few years ago.
Okay. Well, I don't
It's
know how
just
the
like-
internet works, but I can't seem to get it. But it doesn't matter because there's a new podcast up now
That is
called,
also has nothing for the last year.
called Gaudy Positive. And what I like most about this podcast is you're on season 2. Congrats.
Yeah.
I
And then
really,
we just stopped.
the worst thing we ever did was not do seasons. We should have. We're still on season 1. 16
Wow.
was season 1. Yeah. Gaudy Positive season 2 has 1 episode in October.
Yeah.
It's not fun. You can just do whatever.
Here's the thing. I feel like I did it with my friend Kat, who is still my friend. But quarantine was so rough for us that it
Right.
just even like the idea of like I know you guys are doing it great, good job.
thank you.
But like she's open with it. She has lupus, so I think for her it was also very scary. It was like such a scary time and very stressful. And then I was having a complete and utter mental breakdown of who I was as a human. So it was like, maybe now's not the time to be gaudy positive,
Right.
We're probably, though we have spoken, we're both vaccinated. I think we're gonna get back on the gaudy positive train. So look
Okay.
for season 2, episode 2
I say
coming
go to-
out.
I say go to season 3. Fuck it.
I think so. I think you're right.
You never know, right? How bad did it get, your breakdown during the pandemic?
Oh, I went into a clinic. I went to an eating disorder clinic.
Okay, and I'm good for you. How do you realize, hey, I'm out of control now?
I was eating some tater tots, and then I thought I should kill myself because I'm eating these tater tots.
Okay.
So then I was like, you know what? This has been a long time coming, because eating disorders don't manifest overnight. I've had it my whole life, but I've always been busy and touring, so I was able to just like cover up whatever need with touring. Sorry, it's supposed to be a comedy podcast.
Oh, this is
But-
hilarious.
Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
But I had like 6 months to myself, and then I was faced with a lot of demons, and I was lucky enough to be able to get some help, because this was really eating disorder season for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, what do you think helped you the most? Because that is tough, because you are left alone with your thoughts when everything stops. So how do
Oh,
you
yeah.
change your thought process?
And I've seen so many pictures of you. Is it fair to call you a model? I would no. Well, I'm seeing model like pictures, so I'm wondering, are you like, hey, look, I'm not
hot,
shy or
that's it.
anything. When do I stop? You're just what?
I'm just hot. That's it.
Okay, well, there you go. But okay.
I think that it's it's easily you can easily cover it up as like a functioning, because the kind that I have is pretty high functioning. It used to be a lot worse. And I have for the last 5 years has been pretty good for like the really bad stuff. But it's like you're able to cover it up with, I have things happening for me. So I have movies coming out, or I have shows coming up. I have this, I have that. So it was always, I'll get to it later, kind of like this. But you always had that, like, it kind of under the surface. And then, you are left alone with your thoughts. And then you're like, well, I'm not defined by my achievements anymore. I'm just a person sitting in my apartment eating tater tots. Who am I?
What's really
And
bad
then-
stuff, like bulimia or worse?
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
bulimic from age 14 to 30.
Okay.
And then I stopped. No, 29. I stopped. Weirdly, because I just was like, one day I was like, oh, I can't sing anymore. And then I just stopped. Never did it again.
The world needs my voice.
I know, man.
Oh, you
it
couldn't
was
sing
very
anymore
easy.
because bulimia ruined your vocal cords?
Yeah, I'd like destroyed my vocal cords.
Oh, wow.
It just like not destroyed, like it just wasn't the same.
Right.
And I was
Now,
like,
I don't ask a lady's age, but how long has it been since you were 29 or 30?
I'm 34 now.
Okay. All right.
So it's been 5 years.
Congrats.
I don't know.
Only-
I don't know math. Also, a symptom of eating disorders, time doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
not
right.
that's not true. I just don't know what I'm talking about.
The pandemic is nuts. Obviously, it's nuts for everybody. And then when you specifically have right-wing parents,
oh yeah. So it was
that's got to
like-
be smacking you in the face, knowing that you're liberal Hollywood.
So I'm liberal Hollywood, very in touch with mental health and like bettering myself. And then my family is very right wing. It's if you're at fault, it's your fault. And nobody else's. And also therapies for pussies. So
Right.
that's
And
what
with
I
all that,
grew
but
up
it's
around.
sure, but it's even worse, right? Who's into QAnon?
All of them.
See, that's
All of
something.
them.
Do you bother? Like, I mean, it wouldn't matter, right? Because it'd be a Hollywood trick. But do you say, hey, there's this QAnon doc on HBO that's interesting?
I haven't even watched it. Have you guys watched it?
Not yet, but I would if my parents were into QAnon. I promise you that. But I will see.
I'd be like,
I'll
let's
get there.
watch this documentary together. I just want to understand QAnon
Right.
more.
Is it looking good so
mean-
far? Right.
It is so wild, the QAnon world, that it's almost like you just gotta like shut it down and just be like, well, that's a crazy thing that just was said at the dinner table.
Right.
Like I remember I'm not gonna say specific parents, but a parent said they were like, yeah, Trump isn't a pedophile, which is number one, a crazy concept.
Right.
And then
I
number
asked for the
two-
potatoes, Dad. Right.
I'm just like, oh, Dad, how's your day? Trump's not a pedophile. And it's like, okay. And then also that he was brought to destroy the other pedophiles is what a crazy concept. That
Brought from
That-
where? Sorry, brought.
so Trump is basically almost like the savior character
Oh boy.
that was going to expose all the pedophiles in Hollywood, including Biden and Hillary.
But why do we need a hero if we're responsible for everything bad in our lives? That's the interesting note.
Because it's also the stuff that you aren't responsible for, that you don't want to take responsibility for, are the lizard people,
Mm.
okay,
right?
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
like,
Oh, of
I'm
course.
responsible for my success, but when I'm isolated from my family and like my children don't want to talk to me, it's because of the lizard pedophile people.
Mm.
Which is, I talk to my family. I love them. They're all wild. I love them. But
what do you do?
It's so crazy.
What do you do at a dinner table? Let's say you're 29 years old plus 4.
Yeah.
What do you say? Do you say no? Like you're talking to a dog? Like, no, we're not going here. Or do you placate at all?
I mean, I try so hard to hold myself, but it's so crazy. You almost can't let it slide.
Yeah. And
Do
I'm
you
sure
guys
they
do
send
you guys
you.
have to deal with these kind of people?
I
ever?
don't talk to my dad, and I'll fill you in a minute.
Oh,
And my mom
yeah.
has Alzheimer's, but I
Okay.
don't. But she was never political anyway.
I don't speak to either of my parents either for years now, but I do remember that my father almost sometimes, it felt like he would say things just for me to start arguing with him. And now I'm struggling, like, hey, don't show emotion around them. So that was like, I would try to stay as stoic as possible. Then when I'm around extended family, they don't know not to ask me things that would be, against whatever we're doing. So like, my cousin-in-law, she's American. And so she's
Mhm.
feeling free to ask me whatever questions, because that's what normal people do. So she goes, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, what do you do for a living? And she's like, what? Well, I do this. What about you? And I'm like, how do you like doing that for a living? And I'm playing this game, and the only person who doesn't know how to play is the American at the table because she's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, like if I'm not here by the age of 25 with at least one child and a husband, I'm doing something wrong. Don't ask me about it. It'll embarrass my mother.
Yeah. Are you is your family I'm gonna guess is Israeli?
Yes.
Or am I wrong? Okay. Is your family in Israel?
My parents are now. I was born in Israel. We moved here when I
Okay.
was 4, and they went back eventually. My father's Iranian. My mother's born and raised in Israel. Her parents are Iraqi.
Okay. Yeah, my her family all went to
I'm
Israel.
sorry. Is your dog growling at Israel?
Yep. She hates Israel.
You got to watch what the dog's picking up to read, right?
She's a pug. That's her breathing.
She's part of QAnon.
She's just breathing.
Just checking.
She is. If my dog was a political, like what party, she would be Republican 100%. Yesterday she attacked a child.
Would one of your parents? What do you do, by the way, when your dog attacks a child? What do you say to the kids?
I say, you shouldn't have been running past my dog.
Right. Were the parents around?
I think the parents are like, she's so cute. I'll show you her face. So you can be like, oh yeah. Come here. Come here.
Let me see this accordion can't breathe face.
Look at this.
Definitely bite me. Sure. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know such a cute face was biting a cute child. Like that just makes it even.
Okay, Lupe. She bites children, vacuums, whatever.
Whatever.
She'll bite it for you.
Yeah.
But what was your question about my parents?
When your parents would, did they send you like, hey, here's an article, and you're like, oh, I have to ignore that. And then with that said, do you look at yourself and be like, God, I don't want them to do it because I got to shut it down, but I really should show them that 50% of Republicans believe that Derek Chauvin guilty wasn't fair. Yeah. You ever find yourself like, well, I can't engage?
You cannot engage. So my dad lives in Minnesota. We're from Minneapolis, right?
Right.
And so I won't even talk about it. I won't even touch it just because I want to keep intact the image of who my father was when I was 7.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's already weird enough. And my mother, so Russian Jew, just like balls to the walls, does not give a fuck about your feelings. Lovely woman. But every day is sending me weird shit about Biden, weird shit about it's actually the Democrats who want kids in cages. And I'm just like, I can't.
I really hope that my family doesn't describe me as a lovely woman ever. It's very funny that you need caveats for people who you're like, okay, my family, salt of the earth. They want to kill children, like just for a living. But my goodness, you should see the pies they bring over. Homemade.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because we're in such like a culture where you're defined by like one thing about you or 2 things about you that will negate everything else. Like my parents are hardworking people. They're lovely. They've got a lot of issues. I'm in therapy because of most of them. But at the same time, you love your parents and like you understand for whatever reason where they're coming from. So I guess what I don't want people to do is, get my parents fired for any reason.
Oh.
I think that like people are more complicated than social media and
what's great is that your parents don't feel that way, but you don't have to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean they think that I'm a garbage human who's a communist socialist.
Do you find people that
they love me? So
sounds like it.
Tell me what you guys think. I look at people that we know they're supposed to be the more in tune people. Hey, there's things on both sides, et cetera, et cetera. And I almost look at it like you're just a simpleton. Like, because that's the easy thing to say. Like this is a true story I'm going to tell you. Guess what side of things this is on? Florida House passes a bill requiring, quote, disputed girls to have genital inspections before playing sports.
What?
That's
now
gross.
Guess if that's red. Guess if that's blue. And how don't you go, yeah, I think I'm going to switch. I think most listeners know my story. When they tried to tell me Sarah Palin was not only a real person, but that she is viable to be vice president of the United States. That's when I went in and go, no, on paper, if voting is important, if it matters what my name is associated with, then it can't be associated with this group that says Sarah Palin is an actual thing.
Yeah.
And when different things like this pop up, the other side has more disgusting things to you. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I like to think I can see things.
I think that there is like, at some point there is, okay, like a little bit of a middle, but for the most part, at this point, things are so crazy where it's literally like, do you believe in human rights? Or do you believe that pedophiles and lizard people run the world? Like, it's literally at that point. It's not like, do you believe in human rights and do you believe in human rights for said people? Like, it's just, it's either you want the betterment of humanity or you are, cool with people breaking and entering the Capitol building because it looked fun. Do you know, it's like,
do you want to be, I'd be like, well, I don't want to be associated with white supremacy, but I don't want to be associated with being a big pussy that cares too much. Okay. All right. I guess.
Those are your options. I think just a rule of thumb. I had a friend who said this and it made sense. She's like, whoever Tom Hanks likes, I'll like.
Right.
Like, well,
Right.
That makes sense. And then she ended up voting for Trump. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Anyways.
Oh.
But
Who
at
did?
the end of the day,
Who did?
This person.
Oh, that person did. Yeah.
We're no longer friends.
Sure.
Because she was like, your Democrats are bullies. They're such bullies. And I was like, well, yeah, why not? Like, I'm sorry, your dude is the biggest bully that ever bullied the fucking earth.
Well, it's all the same. I mean, I don't know.
You're mad that people are telling you can't say the R word or whatever.
Right. You're telling me both sides don't have snowflakes. Cancel culture, of course, is put on the Democrats. Meanwhile, you stop NASCAR, you burned the Dixie Chicks album as if you owned them in the first place.
You stopped watching football.
You stopped watching football because a man took a knee, but the Derek Chauvin knee, totally different and a little too much. A former Louisville police detective accused of framing several people for murders they didn't commit has agreed to plead guilty to perjury and tampering with physical evidence. He's going to spend 1 year behind bars. 1 year.
Fucked. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What side do you think that would go on? You don't need to make up Jew lasers from outer space. There's enough going on right here.
I will say that is a pretty good one of all the weird shit. Jew lasers?
I don't know if Kendra knows about this.
Jews,
you know why the forest fires, all those fires lately were happening? Jew lasers in outer space. The end. No more questions.
Because we wanted the price of lumber to go up. Because we own the woods as well.
Hollywood
have you
the woods.
Telling people about our Jew laser eyes?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that. But aren't your parents Jewish? How are they?
My mother's Jewish. But that's also the weird thing where it's that weird disconnect where but it's also blindly supporting because Trump is like, I love Israel. Then she's like, he's the one.
Right.
And it's like, it's just weird blind support. Wherever you want to put it is wherever, it doesn't make any sense. I just love, so there's one conspiracy that I do enjoy and that no one else really enjoys as much as me. And it is that the Paul McCartney is dead conspiracy. Do you know of this one?
Sure. I Am the Walrus is a clue that he's been dead.
Paul McCartney died in 1965, and it is the best conspiracy because it's full of clues. And my favorite one of the conspiracies is that in 1966, Paul McCartney and Brian Epstein were kidnapped by the Rolling Stones and thrown over a cliff in France in a van.
I'm fine with that because it doesn't sound political.
That's a great conspiracy theory.
I'm good with those. That's fine.
And they were both pedophiles.
Oh no! Shit, I knew there was more. God damn it. My dad is a weird paranoid guy, and it wasn't until fairly recently I realized why. It's because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Liars think other people are lying, etc. I got a email here, Hemda, from between my dad and my brother, one of my brothers, and somebody sent him a book called 36 Hours, which I assume is about dementia. And he said,
Mm.
who do I thank for this book? This goes with conspiracies.
Okay.
Who do I thank for this book, 36 Hours? It looks like it'll prove helpful. And the brother says, that's an updated version of a book Mom gave me a while ago. I had on my shelf. I forgot about it. Okay. Then he says, many thanks for the updated version, my dad. And he talks like I'm about to without exaggeration when he puts on a fake voice. Mom gave you a book on the subject. Permit me to ask, how did Mom get a copy of it on the subject? Why did she give it to you? About when did she give it to you? This is family. I forgot to hit reply all before starting to type. And then he continues as if the first part of what he was writing was only going to go to Mike and not the rest of my brother, not the rest of the family. When do you think that she realized that she had Alzheimer's, or was it simply a concern for her sister, Mary? Mary died of Alzheimer's. My brother says, I didn't ask how she got it. I assumed it was in reaction to her, but I don't remember when she gave it to me fairly recently.
You be your mom and you're giving that brother the book.
Right. Hey, I have this this book. You might like it. It's about.
Where did you get this from?
I found it at a yard sale. Where else?
How many years have you had it?
I just got
Where
it.
did you put it before you gave it to me?
I just gave it to you. It was under
What year was it written?
I don't know.
Is there a reason why you picked it up in the first place?
Yeah, because there's dementia in my family.
Okay, I will be back with more questions. Thank
Wow,
you.
we really got to the bottom of that one.
Maybe just read it and learn about what's in your blood. But that was my thought. Okay, I regret giving it to you. So then comes the long email from my dad. Is it possible that when she realized?
Can I give Jenny just a quick?
Oh, of course.
Just Keith grew up in the country in Pennsylvania, surrounded by just
Amish and
right?
goats.
Almost Amish, but he might as well have been. He wasn't allowed out. Very isolating. He has 4 siblings. His father used to be a Catholic priest, but when he saw the mom, he decided to give up the priesthood, have 5 kids. Then years later, after Keith's divorce, we're completely fast forwarding, he got in touch with his ex-wife saying, hey, whatever happened between you and Keith? This is like 2 years after the divorce. The ex-wife sent it to Keith saying, hey, your dad's being a weirdo. And he got permission to speak as her. He was catfishing his dad for a year, pretending to be his ex-wife, where at some point his father says, you make this old man libido's jingle, hitting on the wife. Yeah! He's 80. She's like 30 at this point. And they just go on and on. Keith has not learned more about his father in the years that he lectured them than in this year that he catfished for an entire year. Then
is it going to be a book?
Yes. We're working on it.
I'm so excited to read this book.
Now, also, what he did is we've talked about it in real time as the messages were back and forth. We read it, so various guests were, commenting on it. And then Keith decided to put together a page of that entire year because it's just sections of our show. Yeah. All the sections that have to do with the dad emails are under keithandthegirl.com/dad in order with the guests that are talking about it. And you can listen to the entire saga for a year. And then the spin-off show, Daddy Issues, with Keith and his brother as whatever Keith's dad decides to continue. So here we are.
Wow. I am loving this backstory.
Now I'll read the beginning fast, but it's just funny. The transition is what's funny to me. Is it possible that when she realized that she had it, but by the time it got far worse, she did not, or could, by the way, he has stocks and commas. He gets paid every time. It's going up like Doge.
And also, Keith's mom has dementia and is in a care facility.
Right. Yeah. Is it possible that she once realized that she had it, but by the time it got far worse, she did not, or could no longer associate the problem with its cause, or honestly was no longer capable of realizing its severity on how it impacted her mental reasoning and physical abilities? Now, all I can think is he's like, when did she know? Did she not tell me? She didn't talk to you. It would be horrible to talk to.
Yeah.
I could see her keeping a secret from you if she realized.
I can hear right now how horrible it would be just to have a regular conversation with your dad.
Yes. Yesterday, I had a chance to go through her hospice care 3-ring binder. No, she's not in hospice. I had to look that up. 3-ring binder that is in her room. I realized that one must be diagnosed with that one must be diagnosed. My mom. That one must be diagnosed with 6 months or less to live to be permitted to go on hospice. But I must admit, it is emotionally jarring to see that prognosis in print for one's spouse. A part is then here
For one spouse.
for one
Right.
spouse, his.
Not for him, for one
Right.
spouse.
A part is missing from her wheelchair. Unless someone at the other facility dislodged it, in parentheses, unscrewed it, I cannot understand how it could have come off by itself. It screws on from 2 different directions. I could think of no reason in the world that someone would do it at this location. Maybe a murder shop, but not here where you're supposed to take care of people. I can't imagine a reason.
Your father, inability to express his emotions, is trying to tell your brother, I'm worried about your mother, and instead is like, all this other shit. Also, I'm worried about your mom.
Oh, don't worry. He's not shy about saying what he's thinking.
He's
It's all fucked up.
He's faking worrying about the mother, just the mother, your mother.
One's mother.
You mean one's mother?
Yes.
One's spouse.
He's faking it because he's looking for any reason to interact. He's got no friends and his kids hate him. So now he's been using their mom's illness in order to he'll send an email going, hey, do you want an update about your mom?
To me, after all that catfishing stuff. Imagine all that catfishing stuff just happened. And then he's like, well, he'll have to forgive me if I go, do you want to know about your mom? So I still have to go, oh, sorry about the catfishing. Yes, I would love to know about my mom. He doesn't realize I have 4 siblings and we all talk. I get these emails no matter what.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Right. Now he says, so it screws on in different directions, the screw that's missing on the wheelchair. I could think of no reason in the world that someone would do it at this location. My suspect is the male aide who most likely got in trouble because of mom's repeated falls when he should have been watching her. And I pointed that out to the boss.
Oh, he's got to be so much fun in there.
Wow.
And what do they got to do? Like, I'll write it down. Well, he needs to be fired immediately. We're going to look into it.
Yeah.
I think we have somebody got in trouble because mom fell, and so he's taking it out on making her fall more, perhaps die.
But why is he acting like he's constantly over there? Why isn't he just like, it's so easy to be like, hey, I see your mom every day because I've nothing better to do. And also that's one's wife. So, and just update. And he thinks that she's going to die within 6 months.
Yeah.
Is he making that up?
Yes.
Are one of you guys calling the facility?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's making up that your mother. Oh, he also, by the way, made up that he's going to die. He even gave a date. That date has come and gone, but don't worry about it.
I don't want to. I tell you the date, but I don't want to make you nervous.
Ouija board that he
He's very wise. He's very. He knows things, but he will tell you many times, "I am not God." But there are things God. I see, and he does talk to God.
He knows God very intimately, and then even said, "Fuck you, God."
I remember, right? I remember. While having kids is a more awesome responsibility than, et cetera, et cetera.
Is it? I don't know.
That's what I was taught when I was a kid. Nevertheless, he said. So he just said, "Hey, this person's trying to kill your mom." Nevertheless, I just got a bill for almost $2,000. He was down to the penny to cover the remainder of the 30-day required written notice to transfer her. Okay, well, you know what? You have the house money, you have the property money. You're fine. We know. Yesterday, I noticed that besides her severely damaged hand, wrist, and arm, all of which are healing up nicely, by the way, she is now missing more teeth, top and bottom. She had not opened her mouth wide enough for me to notice it sooner. In the past 8 days, my daily visits have averaged about 2.5 hours per day. I am trying to describe.
Wow. No, wait, Keith, please. Can you pause?
Is all of this lies?
I don't think it's every day, but it is fun. Let's say it is true. I think about to point out 2.5 hours a day.
Can we just give the man some credit? Just a quick standing ovation. 2.5 in. You know
Not
what?
2 hours.
Right.
No. 2.5 hours.
If one enjoys his spouse, one doesn't mind going an extra 0.5.
No.
He always had these facts that were made up. Like he had said in another email, I left there at 10:35 when I planned on leaving at 10:20. And I'm like, oh, all right, you're the best. I'm trying to describe the parts needed for a wheelchair to the company, and once I finally blah 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 the end. You just said there's somebody sabotaging her. Anyways,
Someone's trying to kill your mom. So
Yeah.
I was there for 2.5 hours and I've been making some phone calls. Also, never reference the book again. The book was just like a launching point.
yeah, the book's done. The book's never going to be read. The book's going to be read as much as I looked through the Case for Christ that he sent me. And by that, I mean, I promise I looked through the Case of Christ more. Then he'll look at this book about his mom's dementia.
So
His wife, Keith.
my dad has come back into the Catholic fold.
Okay.
Hard. And has, every time I come home, is always like, well, have you found the love of Jesus yet?
Where are you
Right.
supposed to find it?
Yeah, I'm like, where is it, Dad?
Are you like,
Is it like the Afikomen in Passover? Like, am I looking every day or just once a year?
It's in the broom closet under a sheet.
Isn't it supposed to find me?
Where's my $2?
And it's funny how quick they get to They get to correct you. It's like Jenny's eating tater tots. Have you heard of broccoli? It's like you just started going to the gym. Fuck you.
I was just like, oh, I mean, well, you know, I've had this conversation with my dad where I've been like, I went into treatment. Oh, I'm happy you're getting help, hun. Is there help somewhere else you could get it from? You know, from maybe a book? Is there a book that could help you?
The Bible.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna read the Bible.
What was Jesus' thoughts on mental health?
Yeah, okay, so I have a little sister, and when she was 10, I watched her and her friends for like their birthday party, and I forget what happened, but I was comforting my sister for something because she lost an earring, and she said to her other friend, because her other friend was like, oh, okay, this is the conversation. My little sister had lost an earring from her grandmother, and her friend was trying to comfort her and said, don't worry, I also lost something I love. My parents are getting a divorce. So that was already like a crazy thing.
Aww.
And then Olivia replied, you know, my dad says that if Jenny didn't eat so much, she wouldn't be so sad.
What?
And I was like, oh, this is what dad is telling
Oh
you.
my God.
And if I just had the Bible, maybe I could get skinny for Christ.
Oh boy. Well, you know, Christ had his own diet, right?
He did. He was very thin.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
fasted for 3 days and then did CrossFit by pushing rocks out of places, you know?
Right.
That's all. That's
Also, he walked on water, meaning he was a surfer. So he was getting
he was
his cardio
he was
in.
a fucking surfs up, dude.
Yeah.
I heard of course, when you were on Conan, you were talking about dating and you mentioned, you know, hey, I had to tell this guy, look, I was a piece of shit. I ghosted you. Sorry about that. I'm being a better person now. And the guy writes back, you know what? Thanks. That's good to hear. It fucked with my head a little bit. Anyway, want to go out now? And Jenny's like, I gotta ghost him again. What weirdo?
Look, come on. He contacted me during quarantine after not speaking for like 3 years. Did you guys have anyone come out of the woodwork during quarantine?
We're clear that we're in relationships
Yeah.
publicly.
So you're good.
no,
Even
yeah.
that doesn't stop people.
It doesn't stop men.
Doesn't stop them.
Right.
I'm pretty clear. Also, shout out to Xerxes. Today's our 2-year anniversary.
Yay!
We have now been more in quarantine in our relationship
Oh,
than
wow.
regular life. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We now get to say that we've been together for 6 years, if you include the quarantine year, where we're in a
That was
studio
like-
apartment together for over a year. Thank you.
Damn.
Are you dating, Jenny? Looking forward to dating?
No.
No hurry for anything.
No.
No, she already
Everyone's
has
awful.
one mental illness. There's no need to date.
Yeah, I don't need more shit. Like I've gone on dates and it's been dangerous. So I think I'm good.
Right.
What kind of dangerous for the heart?
Dangerous for the health part. I did early on in quarantine. Kind of, you did the thing where you were like, are you good? And then you'd be like, I'm good. And
Oh,
then
like,
you'd
are
fuck.
you COVID free like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
feel it. Yeah, I don't feel it.
I feel fine. When were you tested? Like, I don't know. What even is testing? You know, like I'm in touch with my chakras. They'll tell me if I'm fucked. And then I dipped back into the X pool.
Okay.
Oh, had that
So,
always it always
not
goes well, so I don't know
good.
why I'm asking you. That's
It always
always
goes
a good
bad.
idea. And they like to remind you why it was
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
I mean, no one should ever be in a relationship because there's nothing better. That's always a bad sign.
You just shrug before sex.
You're just like, well, everyone else might kill me, but I know you, so
Right.
let's just do that.
What's your pattern, you think? Like what kind of guys do you go for?
My pattern is definitely having to earn their love. Earning their love. Like if it comes too easily, I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ew. Don't you see how awful I am? And then the other one is I go for definitely for like how would I say it? Like I always want the best. Like I want the hottest. I want the smartest. I want the whatever because I'm constantly trying to prove to my parents that I can do it.
Isn't that funny? And meanwhile, your friend's like, how come you're not talking to me anymore? It's like, where are my pies? Here, isn't that funny? Like the parents, it's like, no, I still have to prove to them. I just went on.
Yeah, they'll
40
never
minutes.
give it to you.
Yeah.
I will never get the love and validation that I desire from my mother the way that I need it. She'll love me the way she knows how to do it, the way a Russian immigrant born in the 50s knows how to love. And that's just what she is capable of. But I keep going back and being like, well, what about now?
Do you discuss that with anybody? Do you discuss that? Because you know about self-help and therapy. Do you do anything?
I'm in tons of therapy.
What do they tell you to do? Like, what should you do to what's
not be
an
with
exercise
anybody until I figure my shit out.
Okay. What's an exercise to not worry about what your parents think about you?
There's no exercise to it. It's just coming to the realization. It's just the realization. It's just like either the only thing you can do. Okay, actually, my current therapist, I like this. She puts it in a very good way. The patterns you have, they are there because you get something from them, no matter what it is. Right. You wouldn't be doing the shitty pattern if it didn't somehow give you something. Right. So the shitty pattern of keep going back to try to get the love that I need, and not saying I don't get love, but the love the way I want it from someone who keeps saying I'm not gonna do it, then maybe in my head, if I don't keep doing it, then I'll really never get it. Do you know what I mean?
That's funny. Mm-hmm. We were just talking about that on Philosophically Speaking, that everything you do for yourself.
You do it for yourself.
Yeah. And the idea when people hear that is that everything you do to feel good, but that's not it. You just do it because that's your pattern. You want something from it. It doesn't mean that whatever you want is going to make you feel good when you get it. It might be that you want to be hit in the face a lot.
But it might have at some point felt good or felt safe. I think that's really important, is like, especially as if you come from families where it was the love or the attention was sporadic or it wasn't consistent, you're always looking for safety and like that. So giving that pattern up in your child brain, because I'm very much about like reparenting yourself. Your child brain is like, well, then I'm gonna die. So you have to like somehow get into your like 5-year-old brain that like you won't die, you'll be fine, like you're an adult now. And I think that for me especially, like I finding who I am beyond like the things that define me have been is difficult. And I think it can be hard for a lot of people who define themselves by their addiction, by their job, by their relationships, that when those things are gone, you crumble because you're just like, I don't know who I am, which I think quarantine for a lot of people, that like it was a mirror for them, being like, you can't be defined by this anymore. Who are you?
Right.
Yeah.
Look at you. How smart are you? Like
I'm
1 to
very
10.
smart.
Okay.
I have to shout it to remember.
Let me mention this, if I may. Speaking of bettering yourself, I want to talk about Lucy Nicotine, Lucy. If you want to get off of cigarettes, this is fantastic. It's a company founded by Caltech scientists
Great.
and former smokers looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't blow balls. Research and develop. It's not, it's not a tagline.
I definitely thought of like bubbles, not like
Right.
blowing bubble, like cigarette smoking, blow it. You guys get it.
Oh, it doesn't suck. That's the point. Researched and developed for 3 years to be made for people as opposed to patients. They created nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine that come in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, pomegranate.
That feels weird. But
I-
this goes to the thing is you don't need to define yourself as a smoker.
Mm.
Mhm.
You don't need to define yourself by your smoking addiction. You can now use this product
Thank you.
and define yourself by that.
Pomegranate, though, I don't know. I'm into that. I'm gonna start smoking just to switch off of it.
I
Lucy
love
also
pomegranate.
Lucy has a lozenge with 4 milligrams of nicotine in cherry ice flavor. All right, it's 2021. Get your shit together. By the way,
My
you're stuck
dad's
in
a big
quarantine.
lozenge guy.
Guess what your house smells like if you're smoking cigarettes? Oh, good God.
Gross.
Yeah, it's gonna be dating season in a minute. And are you kidding me? So here's what you do: go to lucylucy.co and use promo code KATG. You get 20% off all products on your first order. That's gum. That's lozenges. That's all of it.
I think I'm gonna buy some for my dad. He loves the lozenges.
Yeah, a
He
subscription
loves nicotine
Hello-
lozenges.
to.
He leaves them all over the house. It's gross.
Yes. It's disgusting. Lucy, we're disgusting. Thank you. I'll take it from here. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door each month. It's so simple. You don't have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down. Again, lucy.co. Use promo code KATG at checkout. I have to say this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Yeah, okay. I think you can do worse. That's not part of the quote, but that's me. Lucy.co. I mean, you could do fucking worse, though. The
What if it
government
was
makes me
part of
say
it?
this, but I want you to know. Looks like you're doing great. Lucy.co and enter promo code KATG.
Lucy's kind of a sassy bitch.
Yeah. Lucy has things to say. Did you watch the Oscars, by the way, Jenny?
No.
Well, it sounds like nobody did either but me.
I was on the road performing, which hasn't happened in over a year and a half.
Welcome back. What's the vibe out
Thank
there?
you. Everyone's relearning how to be
People?
performers and audience members and all that stuff. We're all relearning.
Oh, so the people who didn't know to begin with are kind of like level now.
I had a woman answer a FaceTime during the middle of my set,
Oh,
and
in
I
person.
ran her out of the show.
Good.
What do you say
I-
to that?
He keeps sneezing.
I don't lose my cool on stage. Like I'm very good about turning bad moments into funny crowd work. But I lost it. I got the white hot rage. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Where you're like,
What'd
oh,
you-
I'm about to kill somebody.
What'd you say?
I just stopped the show and I was like, are you talking on your phone during my show? And she goes, yeah, my daughter called. And I was like, I don't give a
Wow.
fuck. I have been inside for a year and a half and I'm out here performing to make people laugh and you're answering the fucking phone. And she was like, and I was like, if you fucking do it again, I'm kicking you out of here. And she just left.
And how do you bring the room back from that?
Hey, folks.
They clapped, they laughed.
Oh,
they-
okay.
They were like, yeah. And then I was like, let's talk about dicks. That'll get you back.
Right.
Dicks
Uh,
always gets them back.
The
That's
the
what she
Oscars
said.
the Oscars had 9.85 million viewers. That's down 58% from last year.
Stop.
It's never been below 10
What?
million people. Usually it's 40 to 50 million people.
Well,
It's
what
been as
came
much
out
as
this
60.
year? Nothing good came out.
I think people I don't even think it's that. I think it's what I like about it usually is the big auditorium. They cut to people, they catch these weird reactions. Usually you think it's by accident that you see somebody rolling their eyes at somebody's speech, but I'm starting to think it's deliberate and good for the camera people. But it's this weird intimacy, and they try to add more gravitas to it that's even there. And you know what? And I saw this latest one, and even it was an hour in. It's the 9 o'clock hour is about to start. And that's when they gave out their humanitarian award. And it went to some organization called the TV and Movies, whatever, that took care of old people during the pandemic. So if you were in film and you, for whatever reason, came down on your luck, they're going to make sure you're okay. That sounds beautiful, but nobody wants to see 20 minutes of it at 9 p.m. when you're debating to change the channel.
Yeah. Also,
Yikes.
celebrity culture is different. It changed during quarantine.
Yeah,
We don't care about movie stars anymore.
Ever since Wonder Woman did Imagine All the People, we were like, fuck, that changed everything. That changed everything.
The class, just the idea of like class came to the forefront,
Right.
and we were like, oh, all these fucking celebrities.
Yeah, unless they have an OnlyFans, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. Like, Glenn Close pretending she always knew about the butt didn't really save the day. And then
Also, what reference? Like, ooh, like a fully grown adult in gowns and makeup and, a complete, just, who are you wearing? And then it's like, we said the butt. And then we had an older lady say the butt. And then
Right.
she moved her butt. You know who does that? Me, when I call my little nephew Max and I have a Muppet in my hand and I'm like, are you going to shake your butt? And he's like, I'm shaking my butt. And I'm like,
Right.
oh my God, that's your butt. That's what celebrities look like when they're doing that.
I remember seeing people on Twitter, for example, and they'd be like, oh my God, Glenn Close did the butt. And I'm like, that's going to take a long time to get out of my head that you tweeted that.
Also, Glenn Close, she's never won an Oscar, right?
Right.
She's one of the greatest actresses of our time.
Yeah, but so she gets to do the butt.
She doesn't win, but that's what she gets. Is she gets to do debut. I don't know what debut is. Don't know what it is.
Well, you missed out. And what you missed out also after that was Best Picture. Then oddly,
oh God, what won?
Best Man and Best One. Nomadland, piece of shit. And then actually, Matt Bray just said he knew the director, so I rewatched it. It's fantastic. I was thinking something different. I was thinking Nomad World. That's in California. So anyway, fantastic movie. She walks around and she's taking it in. Like sometimes it's more about what am I watching than being delivered art. So good for her and good for Matt. Does this help Matt somehow? I don't know. But anyways, then it was Best Male Actor, Best Female Actor. And of course, the man is going to go second because we're better. And so that's the very last thing that they show as opposed to Best Picture, which is weird. And it's especially weird because it was Anthony Hopkins who was in Wales and he wasn't there to show up. And they go, oh, he didn't show up. He's not here anyway. Good night. And that was the end. What I didn't mention is I think the plan was that Chadwick Boseman, who died in his early 40s, 43, of colon cancer, he was in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which I saw the beginning of it, and you can tell it's like a play. So it's
okay, 100%. I watched the beginning and I was like, oh, this was a play.
Yeah.
100% because the long monologues and all this stuff.
And I lasted half an hour, but I could tell that's real acting. So I see why he would be there. But I think they expected him to win, and I'm going to guess everybody would be doing the butt. I imagine they had some big plan going on. Questlove had the greatest music, and then it was a guy, and then they took a risk because the ballots are hush hush, and they blew it. That's my guess. That's the only thing that could make sense.
Why not still give it to Chadwick? You can still win it even if you're dead.
That'd be great though, as the actor.
Well, they would have
against him.
They would have given it to him. To be clear, he just lost. He still could have won.
Oh,
and then the next day. Anthony Hopkins says, shouts him out real quick saying gone too soon. But, you never saw that video. And that was the end of that.
Yeah.
They should have said, this is the winner of Best Actor. Oh my God, he's not here. And then just right back to what's her face. And only she does the butt and she takes us out with the butt.
Yeah, it's something.
I
Yeah.
don't know what the butt is. Is it just moving your butt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, literally.
I've done that many times.
Yes. I think you people call it twerking.
Right.
Oh, it was like you people.
Where's this gonna? Okay, I'll acknowledge that. Okay. Follow Jenny online. Jenny Zigrino, Zigrino. All right. You'll see when she is performing because it's coming back right now. And
I just booked some stuff in Florida and
okay.
New Hampshire for June.
Okay.
Manchester and St. Petersburg, which is in Florida. And then I'm gonna be building some stuff in Alabama, some more
Okay.
Florida shit. So because the South is making good comedians now, so I have to go be like, no, we're not gonna have that shit. I'm not having a Florida comic be the best comedian.
And so Floridians, look out for Jenny. She's on your side.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'm here to.
Right. And Jenny's gonna update her
To live.
website with actual tour dates, right, Jenny?
Oh, they're just all over.
Right. They're all over the place. So go on
It's
Twitter,
done.
Facebook.
They're-
Right. You don't know what show you're gonna see. That's how she makes sure it doesn't get too crowded. Like you'll find the one that's for you is meant to be.
Like,
all right.
look, when the contracts come in, the contracts have to be signed. I'm still a superstitious lady.
Right.
Oh, so we're getting
say things.
we're getting the behind the scenes pre-confirmation. She might be
Pre-con,
coming out
baby.
to Florida and to Alabama. So
Yeah. Turns out Florida was lost at sea next week. So
Well, I'm excited about season 3 of Gotti Shaming, so you can hit
Yep.
subscribe on that and hope for the best.
can I
Yes.
announce did you talk about Too Late yet?
No, fuck no, I didn't.
Oh, so in June, I'm in the upcoming film Too Late,
Mhm.
which is an indie horror comedy film starring
Nice.
Fred Armisen is in it, Ron Lynch, Alyssa Limparis is in it,
Mm.
Mary Lynn Rice Cobb is in it. It's hilarious, really funny. It was just in the Seattle International Film Festival, and it's going to have a theatrical release in June
what's the weirdest part of taping that?
of the film.
Mhm.
There was an earthquake when we're doing it.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Are they keeping
so
it? Did they change the scene for it?
We
They
were-
changed the whole script.
We were filming outside, and then I get headaches before earthquakes, so I got a really bad headache. And then
I'm sorry, like somebody's
I'm psychic, no big
like
deal.
somebody's joints hurting before a storm or something, right?
Yeah.
Like puppies feeling earthquakes coming.
Yeah, like
Wow.
I get a really bad headache. So we were like hanging out, and then I looked over, and the cars were all shaking, and then you could feel the earth moving. And then I got really nauseous, and I was like, "Oh my god, an earthquake's happening right now!" It was insane.
Whoa, that's a
Yeah.
superpower.
And it was one of the really big ones too. It was like in 2019, we had 2 big ones, July 4th and then July 6th. We had like 2 huge earthquakes.
Wow, you should time that superpower with sex. And then it's like, I feel the earth move. Holy shit. But too bad because
Also, I'm going to be nauseous and throw up on you now.
Right.
I mean, hold it together. It's worth it.
I
No,
remember-
nothing's ever worth it.
I remember being right. You're fighting vomit, right? You gotta work for that. You can't do it for fun and then find out when to stop. I remember saying to my dad, like, hey, when I was a kid, like, why does God make the classic simple thing, bad things happen to good people? He's like, well, people say, why are there earthquakes that kill people? When God is clear, don't build there. You're on a fault line. I'm like, yeah, I was thinking
What?
yeah, but I'm like, I was thinking more cancer in kids anyway. You seem upset. You must be tired. Go to bed. And that was the end of that lesson.
Your dad does sound like an old rabbi. The way you're saying, the way you're making him sound.
What you
Why
know
would you
that
build on the fault line? It's a very dumb idea. Come on.
Jennifer?
Don't
Do you
be
know that
stupid.
Jesus was a Jew?
He was
Easy,
a Jew.
not like that. Go to bed. You're tired. You're cranky.
He was
Our
a
bedtime-
Jew,
I'm
but
like-
not really.
Right. Nah, we know what they mean by that. Jenny, it's very nice meeting you. Thanks for being part of this.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for sharing the show.